Are you taking testosterone and thinking about adding some extra things into your protocol? Keep watching this video to find out what I'm using. Hey guys, TRT Veteran here. Today I'm going to do a quick recap on my TRT protocol and also discuss the add-ons that I am using in addition to my TRT. I originally started this whole process just on testosterone, and that's all I was thinking I was going to need. However, for those of you out there who are already on testosterone, you guys probably understand that you want to feel your best, so why not add a couple extra things? I'm taking testosterone cypionate that is blended with MCT oil. I get my testosterone shipped right to my door through Matrix Hormones, and that comes from a compounding pharmacy. I use MCT oil because I've had side effects in the past with cottonseed and grapeseed. Both the grapeseed and cottonseed would cause itchy red lumps to form in my skin right around the injection site, and even in some cases they became painful. So I found that the MCT oil does work best for me. It took months of trial and error and multiple injection sites, multiple carrier oils to find what works best and gets the best lab results for me. So what we found that works best is injecting in the glutes with that MCT oil. So my doctor is currently having me inject 5 times a week, 50 milligrams each injection, totaling 250 milligrams a week. Now, it did take quite a while to work up to that dose. For those of you who don't know, I did start out at 100 milligrams a week. Some people might say that dose is a cycle. Well, it's not. I am just a bad absorber of testosterone, so I need a higher dose to start actually feeling better. I use a 27 gauge half-inch needle insulin syringe for my injections. Now, some out there do swap needles and all that stuff to inject, but with those insulin syringes, it's the same needle. You poke it in the vial, you draw up your testosterone, and then you turn around and inject it into your body. In my TRT protocol video, I go into more detail of where I started, some side effects, and where I ended up with my TRT protocol, so make sure you go check that out. So after being on TRT for a while, I started developing severe joint pain again. I've had joint pain since my time in the Marines, but it just became more intolerable. So after talking with my doctor, I started Nandrolone Decanoate, Deca. I began taking 100 milligrams of Deca a week, but that didn't do a whole lot for me, and so after doing some lab work and talking with my doctor again, he bumped me up to 200 milligrams a week of Deca. The 200 milligrams of Deca doesn't fully get rid of my pain, however, it makes it a lot more tolerable and manageable. If you want more details on that, you can go head over and check out my Deca video after this one. So while I was still on just testosterone, my estrogen began to raise a little bit. So to manage that, I went ahead and started taking calcium D-glucarate as well as grapeseed extract to help manage that estrogen. Once I added Deca to my protocol, the lab showed that my estrogen began raising rather rapidly, and that's when we introduced a low-dose AI. So my doctor prescribed that low dose of anastrozole, which is an AI. My doctor prescribed me 0.5 milligrams every 2 weeks. So that's only 1 pill every 2 weeks, and that should help reduce my estrogen pretty significantly. I'm still waiting on lab work, so I will put an update in a later video on how that's going. And so far, while taking the AI, I have not had any side effects at this low dose. Another medication I'm taking is called Cabergoline. So once I started doing the testosterone, my prolactin was beginning to raise. And at first I tried managing it with a natural supplement called P5P to help lower it. However, it continued to raise, and that's when I started Cabergoline. With the Cabergoline, I'm only taking 0.25 milligrams a week. That tiny dose is enough to keep my prolactin down to the lower levels. Because once your prolactin starts creeping up is when you start having erectile dysfunction issues, and that's something we do not want. After starting testosterone, we found out that I had hypothyroidism, and so my doctor started to prescribe me a naturally desiccated thyroid called MP thyroid in 120 milligrams. So I take 120 milligrams, I split that pill into 2 times a day. Another prescription I'm taking is isotretinoin, aka Accutane. Now, hopefully not a whole lot of people have to get on this. It is a pretty serious medication, but unfortunately, I am a person that anytime I have adequate testosterone levels inside my body, I break out horribly with cystic acne, and unfortunately, Accutane is the only thing that helps. Accutane is very controversial, and I go into it a little bit more detail in my Accutane video. Another thing I add in to my protocol is I take a multivitamin that is designed for people who have an MTHFR gene mutation, which means I can't absorb some vitamins unless they're methylated. So it is a gene mutation that affects up to 40% of people in the United States. As far as some other vitamins go, I take vitamin D because a majority of people are deficient in vitamin D. And I was also deficient in B12. So I started out on B12 injections to help boost my B12 quickly, and then once I got to a good level, I started taking a sublingual type B12, and then now I just do that daily. Those are the only things that I'm taking along with my TRT protocol. I used to take a significantly larger amount of vitamins and all that stuff, but I still felt like crap. It might seem like a bunch of medications for some of you, especially because I'm only 32, but as far as where I was at a couple years ago, I am so much more healthier now, and I've actually got a quality of life back, and I can't put a price on that. So is it ideal that I'm on some of these medications? No, it's definitely not. However, it's the cards I've been dealt with, so that's what I'm going to roll with. As always, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and then jump over to Facebook or Instagram, or both, and check us out on TRT Veteran. We'll see you guys around. Thanks.